1, 2, 3. We're already burning our running time. Hello! I'm Tom.
I'm Galen.
And we are
here
to
tell
you
scary
perfumes. This is your 15 minutes of FUME. The irony is the perfumes we are presenting today aren't even that scary.
I mean, maybe to some people.
I
don't know.
I think this whole arrangement might be scarier to some than the products we're actually presenting today.
It's pretty
For what we have to sniff today are the recent Ménage Trois perfume blends from the October Lunacy collection, which are just small 3-note perfume blends that are relatively simple in design that are born from our perfumers' freeform daydreaming. Last year we did duets, which were simple 2-note scents. This year we did 3-note scents because everything in 2020 was just like that much extra. I don't know where we go from here, per se. Next year, 4-note scents? I don't know. After a while, it starts to become just like a whole lot more work, doesn't it? So, anyway, the great thing about what I love about reviewing these scents is I don't need my computer to look up anything.
It's all on the label.
It's all printed right on the label.
Really helpful.
Yeah. So without further ado to you or you or you, we shall move on into the list. The first one is Himalayan white tea, lemon peel, and grass. Wow. Lemon peel and grass.
Yes, those are two of the notes.
Yeah, but I'm like trying to pick it apart because
Right.
What's funny is there's something faintly sweet about it. I expect the peel, I guess, to just have more bite in the bottle. It's definitely there. I think the grass, what I've noticed in the past is that the grass is kind of like a bit of a sweeter note all around.
I think it's also the tea.
The tea is definitely, I mean, I don't know what is Himalayan about it.
Me either.
Apparently it is from Himalaya.
Take your word for it. It's very clean and fresh.
It's really nice. Wow, this really kind of defies description. It really does. It smells like an herbal tea or an herbal tonic, in the bottle anyway. And I'm curious to see. It's always with these Ménage scents, like which one of the scent notes is going to burst out of the pack and like take over your whole arm. Sometimes it doesn't happen, and it ends up kind of smelling on the skin, kind of more or less the way it does in the bottle. I don't know what to expect from her, but we're going to find out. Will you help me?
Yeah, I'll do it. Your plastic hand doesn't seem to be working. The next one is Papyrus, Cardamom, and Balsam. Isn't Papyrus a font?
It smells like
a font. That font.
A font.
Do you know that font?
I love it when movies unironically use the Papyrus font in their like main titles or whatever. Didn't that happen? Was it Avatar? Something was like had Papyrus as its main title font, and everyone was like, "You have like a budget."
Ooh, David.
Ooh, wow, interesting. I don't really know what Papyrus smells like.
I don't either, or what it is aside from the font.
I believe that Papyrus historically was like a flattened and processed plant matter that was just like it's like I don't know, is it a papyrus plant? It's a material similar to thick paper that was used in ancient times as a writing surface, and it was made from the pith of the papyrus plant, a wetland sedge. So I basically knew what I was talking about. It's the papyrus plant. It was like flattened out and pressed and processed to make an early form of paper.
No wonder there's a font.
As an Aries, I just get really relieved when I find out I was right about something.
Yeah, I know that.
And cardamom and balsam, which are more known quantities. I know what those smell like, basically. This is so unusual.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe this? It has a kind of a sour twist.
Yes.
That-
Sour.
Kind of musty.
Earthy?
Earthy. It definitely has like a vegetal smell.
I almost said that, but then I thought maybe it felt silly to say that after saying earthy.
For me, I feel like the cardamom is doing a very familiar kind of sweet and spicy thing on the nose that is in contrast to the rest of it, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. But I will try it on and explore and push my...
Comfort.
I'll expand my horizons. I just don't really know what I'm smelling. And
I feel like this is one of those things you do have to try on, because in the bottle it's really intense.
It really is.
And you're just kind of like, what is it that I'm inhaling?
Yeah, it's like the sweetness of the balsam and the cardamom kind of go at contrast with the kind of like, there's like a acrid plantiness, and I don't really know. But I imagine it is what a mummy smells like, and I do like that about it. So, I'll try anything once. Next, we have our Ceylon cinnamon, Albanum, and Cacao. So this ought to be like spicy and murky in a different way, a bit more familiar way. It's hard to lose me entirely on a cacao scent. The Albanum is like a kind of a thick resinous smell.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So again, spicy and murky in a different way, and weirdly, also smells like mummies.
Yeah, it does.
I can't...
Not in the way that Papyrus would.
Different pyramid. Maybe in a different country, I guess. Because cacao is not like a Egyptian thing. I mean, they got everywhere. The aliens helped with that. It is a bit more familiar in a way that's like less disquieting. To me, it still has like it reminds me a little bit of the Skeksis ones we did, where it has this like dark, kind of a dark ethereal quality. What would you call a dark
gourmand almost?
Yes, except for the Albanum makes it into something that you shouldn't eat. It's like ceremonial chocolate that's like not for eating.
Yeah.
Like an offering plate, I guess that makes sense. Maybe that's why I'm getting mummies out of it, because it just definitely smells like offerings. These are the kinds of things that the gods would consume, which humans are like, no thanks.
No thanks.
You do you. I'll be over here with my Snickers.
Flamin' hot Cheetos.
Oh my god. Speaking of flamin' hot, red mandarin, French lavender, and juniper.
Whoa.
So you got something really nice and warm and citrusy, and something cool and lavender. Okay, also these are all very sort of vaporous, aromatic notes that are probably going to fly off the skin and poke you in the nose. Wow, the mandarin and the lavender really intertwine quite nicely.
They do.
And again, this smells like a very fancy herbal tea.
Or like a cocktail? Because of the juniper?
Yes.
Like there's like that zing.
But it's like warm, like more of like a toddy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's not boozy, but there's just like
toddy.
but it's like the steam rising off of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know how when you like peel an orange and you can smell it immediately, even though it's like a full arm's length away, because there's something about the scent that is once unlocked just like zooms across.
Yeah.
Must be known. Yeah, so I'm getting that. It's simultaneously calming and energizing. I guess that's like lavender plus juniper. It's just an incredible braid of smells all together that I can smell them each individually, and they're just kind of harmonizing as opposed to mashing all together. Like each note is just very recognizable and strident. That's going to make someone's whole day. This is like it has like an aromatherapy aspect to it, where it's like you just throw this at a bad mood. You're just like, we'll get it back. Oh. And then was that number 4?
It was.
Yeah.
You threw it over there.
Number 5 is leather, indigo, incense, and red amber.
When we got these last night, I opened this one immediately because I was just like, I just need to know what this smells like. I was really excited.
Galen
cheated. I didn't
cheats.
smell any of the other ones.
We try not to cheat, like I really want to save my unvarnished impression.
Yeah.
That can be very difficult because sometimes, like, I mean, would you be able
Sometimes
to...
we're like really waiting for one.
Would you sleep at night if you had it was just right there in a box on the coffee table?
I had to smell it. I didn't put any on.
Well,
I will now.
ooh. Wow. What was the third note? It was leather, indigo, incense, and
Red amber.
red amber. Okay, it's the red amber that I'm smelling. It's kind of like it has a ruddy, almost I want to say like dragon's blood quality.
It's got a kind of incense shop smell.
It does.
Like, you know?
Yes.
Which, I mean, it has indigo incense, but also with the amber and the leather, it really does kind of
It's
take it somewhere.
It's a shop that sells incense and like leather-bound books. It's like, I mean, it really is like an occult shop smell.
Totally.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even down to the fact that it's kind of dark, spoopy, and creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has a kind of like a tenebrous quality, but overall is just kind of warm and welcoming, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, fascinating. I mean, this is classic BPAL to me also. This is the kind of thing that people associate with us because of our own spoopy and creepy proclivities. It reminds me of some of the scents from the, when we did scents for that total eclipse that America was impressed by back when something on that scale even registered. It seems like something from that collection. So we're going to go try these on now. Do you want to go fish that one up that I threw?
That's not working. Probably because I don't have an actual fishing pole.
And you didn't use the right bait.
Ah, shit.
First things first, we have our Himalayan white tea, lemon peel, and grass. I think that maybe some of the association I was drawing too was like, there's something about the words lemon peel and grass together that in your brain say lemongrass, which is a whole different experience.
Totally. Whole
So,
different smell.
I think that that's why I was kind of shocked to smell lemon peel and grass separately. It's strange that this is almost the most comforting one that we have this time. It's just sort of peaceful. Like the others all have some kind of sharpness or earthiness or dark quality. And this one is very light and fresh and soothing.
Yeah.
And faintly sweet and just like the fantasy of a meadow. The reality has like bugs in it.
Maybe like having some tea in a meadow.
Yeah, this smells like a meadow picnic with no bugs. Like there's
That's nice.
I can even smell the sky, you know? That's how fresh. And I love that it is wearing really close to the skin so that like it rewards investigation.
Mm.
Which sounds perverted, but I swear is just a nice thing when you want to lean in closer to get more, you know, as opposed to like, back was better, you know.
Stay over here.
I'm gonna enjoy it from over here.
You know what?
You have fun.
You have a nice day. You can see the droplets of dew on the blades of grass kind of thing in smelling this.
It's like you can see the flecks of lemon peel stuck to your lover's face from where you were just peeling it frantically, like toward them and just showering them in lemon peel, and they were like, yes, you know?
No, that sounds perverted. Let's move on.
When you're like making it rain with a lemon peeler.
Let's move on.
Okay, next. Oh, we have that
must move
strange papyrus, cardamom, and balsam situation.
Here we go.
I think I was in denial about this. Oh. Okay. Interesting. This is rewarding a dry down for sure. In the bottle, there was something kind of like stanky about it to me. I was like, it was just kind of giving my nose a twist, and I didn't really know what to do with it. It is much calmer on the skin. And I'm getting more of that, like it has like an aquatic vegetation smell. It's not really like a mineralic aquatic scent, but there's just like a cool kind of humidity to the papyrus note.
Also something kind of papery
Mm-hmm.
and dry. I don't know.
And
How can something be aquatic and yet dry? But it's happening.
And the cardamom has lost the sweetness as it does and is kind of reduced to just like a bit of spice. And the balsam is the true source of the remaining sweetness, but that is like a mellow resinous tone that kind of makes sense alongside of the others. It still smells like mummies.
Yes, it totally does. It's really earthy.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I gave this one a chance. If I had smelled it just from the bottle, I think I would have said, none for me, thank you. That's kind of one of the things I love about these videos, is it because even when we were at events, sometimes I would be very superficial because there's a zillion perfumes in front of you and you don't have time for something that you don't particularly care for.
You're already in a cloud of scent.
Right.
So it's hard to really pick things out clearly from there.
This really has moved beyond to like, it has like a museum exhibition quality that I find really appealing. Well, I could hang out here all day. I think that's why
we must move on.
This is why the videos end up getting longer and longer because we sit here
just
going
like, wow, I gotta...
and then saying more things.
It also reminds me of...
Right. If I keep digging, I'll find something. Okay. So then moving on to it was the Ceylon cinnamon, Albanum, and Cacao. What's the note you're getting the most?
I don't necessarily know what Albanum smells like, but I'm smelling something that kind of just smells like incense, like a very heavy ceremonial incense.
That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you don't automatically know that it's cinnamon or cacao, then by default it is Albanum. But yes, this is a kind of like a incense syrup.
I get the spice from the cinnamon and like the... I don't know.
It pairs beautifully.
They really pair beautifully.
With the papyrus. Like these two, weirdly, I wonder if they're from the same Daydream,
exhibition.
Honestly. Yeah, honestly, two exhibits in the same touring museum
the
exhibition.
Ancient mummies.
Yes. Now this one is kind of automatically less sweet because the balsam was sweeter in the other one. Like the hint of cinnamon and the hint of cacao, kind of like I associate those with sweetness, so it seems like it's going to be sweeter, but it's actually relatively dry and incensey.
Yeah, it does remind me of one of the Skeksis.
Yes,
and it's dark and ceremonial.
Thank you for the validation.
You are welcome.
Okay, so now number 5 is red mandarin, French lavender, and juniper, which sounds much more like something you would actually consume. Although, on the skin, it is really kind of like screaming. Just really 3 bright, powerful notes.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of orange. A lot more orange than I did in the bottle.
The orange is... I'm amping the orange also.
I'm not complaining. It's just...
Cool. I like that it's tempered too, because it's not a super like juicy fruit Sunny D style orange situation. It's that still tang. Really aromatic, and it is much more like sliced oranges. And maybe it's because the other notes, but like the bitterness of like the citrus rind is really balanced out by the lavender and the juniper.
Yeah.
It's allowed to be like a little more bitter. You know, if this was like if someone was asking for citrus perfumes, I have to specify sometimes, and it's like, yeah, like really, do you want to take this into a gourmand place, or because like also citrus is a plant family and it goes in all sorts of different directions, and like especially when you get into limes and stuff like that, where some of our lime notes are truly not edible. I mean, none of it is edible.
Please don't eat the perfume.
Slap it away from your mouth.
But like you said earlier, energizing and calming at the same time. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. This would be a good perfume to wear while you're writing, I think.
Yeah. Get those clockwork gears moving.
Yeah. Yes. And the juniper is not kind of like a really distracting or cooling element.
No. It's just part of the picture.
It's just like an interesting herbal tincture.
Yeah.
All right, and now we have our final installment, which is the leather, indigo incense, and red amber. Ooh, so this is smokier and more leathery on me than it was in the bottle.
It really has a cold shelf smell.
It does. It has like a singe to it. It kind of reminds me a little bit, in a much simpler way, of the Woman is Dragon scent from the Dead Blondes and Bad Mothers collection. In terms that it kind of like simmers with this funky primal heat. but has like the incense components really kind of ground it in some kind of like sacred experience.
Yeah. That's great.
So I am definitely, it reminds me of less of an occult shop now and more of going into like the cowboy boot and cowboy hat shop as a kid with my family, which is a thing that we had to do.
Since I don't have that memory, I'm still going with the cult shop.
Yeah. I mean, she's in there for sure. But like the leather shop, like the boot store had all sorts of like polishes and resins and also, you know, boots. I'm not really getting what's indigo about it, and I don't know if it's indigo as in like a color suggestion or indigo as in like the plant. I am not sophisticated enough to understand that, but you knew that from my story about the cowboy boot store. So overall through here then, which one is your fave?
The leather indigo incense and red amber for sure. And then I think the second one would be the King Mandarin lavender and Juniper. Third note is I gotta smell it to get those clockwork.
So on the
rolling.
First one, the white tea, lemon peel, and grass, the grass is really starting to poke through as it does. I really love this. Also kind of like a good inspiring, elevating scent if you're looking for a mood.
Yeah.
That's kind of a standout for me, and it's the most kind of readily accessible of all of these. I'm thrilled about the Papyrus one. I love the idea of exploring this. It's definitely better for me on the skin than it would be in like a scent locket or something. So that is good to know. So truly some like interesting old world glamour.
And I do like the cinnamon, Albanum and Cacao too.
It sounds like we like all of them.
They're great.
It's a good batch, and it seems kind of interestingly timed for fall because there's like some grass and some freshness, but like a lot of like the, you know, the woogies, the autumn woogies,
spooky wiggly fingers.
Yeah. Spooky autumn wiggly fingers, the woogies.
The woogie. Oh, is that rain? No. Almost.
You're locked in the trunk. In the rain. This is my relaxing ASMR video.
Wow, you're locked in the trunk in the rain. That feels nice.
Well, that is literally all the time we have for today. So we're going to film another video about the Falling Leaves Moon and the Blue Moon collection. That's going to happen. And as ever, there is always more perfume coming up around the corner. As long as we draw breath into these bodies, we shall use our exhales to tell you what we thought of that breath. So, until next time, mwah!